Good morning. Good morning, Kumar.
Warmer days in Bangalore.
Namaste. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Badri. Good morning.
Morning.
Good evening, Mohan.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
What's happened to the rest of the group? Maybe just coming in.
Yeah, I know.
<clears throat> 7 o'clock. So let's get started. Start with 3 ohms. Namaste, everyone. Morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are. So maybe I don't see Purna here. So let us just start with the prayer. ॐ योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनीना पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिनरानतोऽस्मि आबाहु पुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रादिधारिणम् सहस्रं शिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिं श्रीमते अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः. So only about 9 people this morning as we start. That's okay. That's fine. I know 2 or 3 sent me a message saying that they won't be joining this morning due to other engagements. So we left at Sutra 38 last week. So let me quickly go to that. This is where we started. So in Sutra 38, Patanjali Muni is telling us, Te Samadhi Upasarga Vyutane Siddhaya. So all these siddhis, all these various things are happening because the outcome of the natural change that arises from samadhi. Meaning this upasarga, we saw that upasarga actually really means that that which arises after death. I mean, the end of something and the beginning of something. So here he is actually meaning that the end of, because the siddhis are coming because of this connectivity, because of samadhi, this being in the state of samadhi. Samadhi itself, this connectivity is coming because we have let go of living in a poor way. Psychologically, we have let go of this miserable living that we have been so far as miserable human beings, as small human beings, as petty human beings. So we have been psychologically reborn with that openness. And that's why with the connectivity, some siddhis are happening. So that's what that sutra is. And then the next sutra is even more beautiful. It says, Pandakarana Shaitalyat Prachara Samvedhanat Cha Chittasya Parasharira Avesha. Oh, I didn't start from 34. Sorry, I should have started from 34. I'm wondering why. Oh, sorry. Last week we started at Sutra 34. Nobody objected to that. Okay. So this is where we started in Sutra 34. Pratibhatva Sarvam. So, Pratibhat is that light of enlightenment, and from that we get all jnana from above. So that's what that sutra is. Hridaye Chitta Samvit. That is, we saw this Atma Chakra, not Anahata Chakra, but Atma Chakra, that one, the chakra that is right behind the sternum. And we saw that this is lying on the Atma Nadi and connected to Sahasrara, coming right down that way. So here he says, in the innermost Atma Chakra, in the Atma Chakra is where this knowledge, this Vidya, the entire Vidya. Vidya is all this perceptions, the right perceptions of life are located. And this is what we carry with us upon death. So that's that's the sutra. And then he came to 36. Sattva Purushayoho Atyanta Asankirnayoho Pratyaya Vishesho Bhogaha Parartatvat Swartha Samyamat Purushanyanam. So all these various life experiences that we are undergoing. I mean, looking at other chitta, if we have that siddhi and all that, uh, appears meaningless when we connect with Sattva Purusha, when we connect with Ishvara, because he is so open, he is so open-minded. He never criticizes anyone. He never says that I won't come to you, that I won't respond to you, irrespective of how you are. So, um, so he says, by samyama on the purpose of others and on one's own self comes the knowledge of Purusha. So that's that sutra. And here is where that we spoke a lot about how with that openness when we come into this class and keeping away all that we have learned so far. That's how we will discover Ishvara. In Sutra 37, we saw that Tataha Pratibha Shravana Vedana Darsha Swad Varta Jayante. So he says Pratibha is that enlightenment. So because of this connectivity of being in the state of samadhi, we could also get various siddhis. And this siddhi that he is talking about here is
What is that?
heightened or enlightened hearing, sensations, Vedana sensation, darsha is seeing. All this becomes heightened, taste, heightened smell or health or feeling of happiness, etc. That's what it says.
Kumar, I have one question.
Yes.
What is referred to as Sattva Purusha and Purusha? They are same or different?
See, it is the characteristic of the Purusha that we say when we say Purusha, when we say Ishvara, when we say Sattva Purusha. So when we say Sattva Purusha, we are really talking about the purity of the Purusha. Not that when we say Purusha, it is not there. Here we are focusing on that purity. That's what it means. It doesn't mean there are 3 or 4 entities.
Okay. And in the line, how I little bit confused on conscious, then your mind consciousness, then next level comes asmita or I-ness, then comes, is that Purusha or Chitta, Purusha and Ishvara? How is that hierarchy?
You mean when we talk of the kleshas?
No, when you are connecting with each one, like
Between Chitta and Purusha.
Chitta and Purusha, Chitta
See,
is
Chitta,
reached.
Chitta is how we are all launched, correct?
Correct.
Each of us is launched as a Chitta in a disembodied state. That's how we are launched. And then we wait there until a correct human body. For now, let's only talk about humans. Human body is located for us. Okay. So once we locate that, we enter that human body. When we enter the human body, it is the chitta that is going to be working. Correct?
Correct. Yeah.
The human body. Though the human body itself has its own intelligence and it does certain things, but it is controlled by the chitta, the software.
Correct.
So in PYS, what is the term we use to refer to this physical intelligence, or you said body has its own intelligence?
Body has its own intelligence. It has its own intelligence to do the bodily functions.
No, like brain, or is it the mind?
No,
What is
that's
the
what I'm saying.
reference?
The chitta is independent of the brain.
Okay. Okay.
All that the brain, what you can connect with chitta is maybe the various things that we store in the brain and then recall them.
Okay.
That's the only function. Otherwise, it doesn't need. The chitta is, you have to understand the chitta as a computer by itself, meaning it has got its own software processor. How we say Intel chip inside, right? Or any laptop. This chitta has an Intel chip, but not a hardware chip, but a software chip. So it could do any kind of processing. With me?
Yeah. Then where is Purusha coming in?
So the Purusha is that that modem that we are talking about.
Correct.
It's
So
a piece of software in us which has connectivity to the Sattva Purusha.
So Sattva Purusha and Ishvara are same.
Correct.
Oh, I see.
Sometimes,
And the
we also refer to Ishvara as Purusha. Because this piece of software here, the moment all the avarana is discarded, I mean all the kleshas are discarded, then we are able to connect. Correct? Once we are able to connect, then we ourselves are that Sattva Purusha during that connectivity. Correct?
okay.
Because it is just the other end. So whatever we need just flows through the channel.
So is it right to say the modem is Purusha? That is one which is in us
Yes.
is Purusha.
Yeah, the modem is what is called the Purusha. Also, Atma.
Atma. Okay.
Yes, Atma, modem. We are calling it modem because we can easily understand. That's why we call it as modem. So it's again a piece of software, not hardware. It is part of the chitta.
It's part of the Chitta. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clear, Mohan?
Yeah. Fine.
Okay.
Kumarji,
Yes.
Is Purusha without form or any, what do you say, nirguna, without any gunas, and in this, philosophy, or is it with some nature of its own for Ishvara?
See, Ishvara is nirguna.
Then we are saying Sattva Guna. We are saying Sattva Guna then. Sattva Purusha. Sattva is one of the guna, right?
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. When we say Sattva Purusha, we are using that word Sattva Purusha to say that he is of the highest purity. That's all.
Yeah, but in our discussion earlier, we were also discussing that Sattvic is also one of the guna that you have to work
Correct.
towards, not embodying it.
See, when Purusha has to see, the Sattva Guna itself comes in when Purusha has to do some creative work, he drops a notch
Mm-mm.
from Nirguna to having all this Sattva Guna, all this. That is how he is able to do this creative activity.
So the highest form of Purusha is
Nirguna.
formless Nirguna, and
Yes.
then when he descends a little bit, with little acquires these gunas, and then connects with the
We call Sattva
Prakriti.
Purusha, whatever
Yeah,
we
yeah.
call.
Okay.
No, but these are all very seamless and very, very close to each other.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are different planes in even Purusha and then Prakriti, where they're like, they have different characteristic in those planes of its own. Like what Chitta is
See,
in.
Prakriti's job is only to create, is responsibility is only creation, all kinds of creation.
Mhm.
But where did Prakriti come from? It came from Purusha, correct?
Purusha, correct.
And
So,
for creation, to sustain, the kleshas have to be there. Otherwise, it cannot sustain.
correct. Okay.
And that's why Prakriti was created with klesha. And that's how we got our kleshas. That's where we got our kleshas from.
Okay. And for when you have this connectivity and when your questions are being asked, this is Sattva Purusha that is answering all your questions
It doesn't really matter who's answering your question. Sometimes it could be anybody up above could be answering your question.
Okay.
So let's not worry too much about that.
Okay.
Because see, everybody who is in the disembodied state, whichever chitta is in the disembodied state, they all work in sync with Ishvara.
Okay.
It is only the human being. When I say human beings, because we don't know anything about any other being in the universe. So it is the human beings that acts asynchronously.
Okay.
And to bring them back to a synchronicity with Purusha, it is so difficult. That's what we are trying to do here.
Okay.
So that is the Abhinivesha that gives them that, right? Tells them, oh, I am the doer.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Any
you.
other question?
Can I ask explanation, please? Do you ever mention behind the breastbone there is some sort of receiver? I understood. Am I right?
Yeah, the Atma Chakra.
Atma chakra, and that acts as a receiver.
The Atma Chakra is the location for all your vidya, all your jnana, wisdom.
So is that the end of the breastbone, or in the middle?
And where the ribs are splitting up, right behind them.
Okay. I'm asking because years ago I was involved in an aeroplane crash, which I survived. And the effect I got was that breastbone, the very end breastbone is broken. Even now, it did not grow back. It's movable.
But this is, if you're talking about the bone, here where it is splitting up apart, right at the sternum, that's what we call a sternum, right?
Yes.
So it is right behind that. But you're saying your breastbone maybe even lower down.
Okay, so it's not that. But I was thinking that maybe.
And also these are, when we say it is located there, please understand it is not a hardware part.
Okay, yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I was just.
like other chakras, it is the energy, an area of energy. That's all.
Yes, I thought that physical act of the strength that the airplane fell down cracked my breastbone, therefore damaged me intellectually, emotionally, whatever. But okay, and now I get it. It's not a physical.
I don't think a physical hit would cause any damage to that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Kumar, sorry, one more question.
Yes.
The seer becomes an observer when he reaches Sanyama or before that?
Yeah, what?
The seer becoming seeing person,
Oh, the seeing, the seer.
becoming an observer
uh.
happens only when you get sanyama or
It can
earlier to
happen
that?
even before that. Can happen even before that. Can happen even before that.
Okay.
See, these are all very gradual processes, and the seeing, being an observer can happen even before that. Yes.
Okay.
All right. I think we spoke about all that. 38 we already covered. Okay, let's move on. Any other question before we start the new sutra? Lock it here. So this sutra, Bandha Karana Shaitalyat, Prachara Samvedanat, Chat Cha, Chittasya Parasharira Aveshah. Bandha Karana Shaitalyat, Prachara Samvedanat Cha, Chittasya Parasharira Aveshah. What a beautiful sutra. You have to enjoy these sutras. Some of these words we know already. So, bandha. Bandha means to be bound. To be bound. That is bandha. Karana. Karana is reason. Before we come to Shaitalya, we have seen this word. I don't know how many of you remember. We saw this word in chapter 2 when we spoke on asanas. There were 3 sutras on asana. The first sutra was Sthira Sukham Asanam. The second sutra was Prayatana Shaitalya Ananta Samapatibhyam. Prayatana Shaitalya Ananta Samapatibhyam. That was the second sutra. The third one was Tato Dvandva Anabhigatagam. So forget about the third and the first one. The second one was Prayatana Shaitalya Ananta Samapatibhyam. Around 35, 36, somewhere around that.
2.47.
I mean, 2.47.
47.
2.47. Okay. 47, I thought it should be about 437.
No, Prayatna Saidilya, that one is 2.47.
Okay, Prayatana Shaitalya. So, that Prayatana Shaitalya there, it's the same word here. I mean, the verb has a different format, that's what Shaitalya. So, there we said, when you put a very little effort, Prayatana Shaitalya, with very little effort, Prayatanam, you make an effort with little effort. That Shaitalya is little effort or weak effort. That's what it means. And then, whatever posture you are in, Ananta Samapatibhyam, you are completely at peace. And Ananta Samapatibhyam, completely focused Samapatibhyam. We have seen Samapati, right? Samapati. So, fully engrossed. You can be fully engrossed only when you are comfortable. So, that's what it says. The Chaitanya means weak or little. So, that's the same thing here. Bandha Karana Shaitanya. Because of weak binding Karana. It's reason. Because, or that's the word for that. Or the Prachara Samvedhana. Prachara we know. Same thing. The word that we use on a regular basis. Prachara means to broadcast. Correct? Or to transfer is also prachara. Some travel is taking place. Some movement is taking place. Prachara samvedana. Samvedana. Vedana means sensation. Samvedana means samyak. Samyak means good. Cha is and. Chittasya, of the chitta, para sharira. Para means other. Sharira is body. Other sharira. Aveshaha. Veshaha we know, right? Veshaha. Vesham.
Dressing.
Huh?
Dressing up. A costume wearing kind of thing.
I mean, yeah, I mean, these are all different words. Veshaha means when you are putting on a show,
Mhm.
that which is not real. It could be taken that way. Aveshaha is not that. So, anyway, I wanted to. So, this sutra, when you read this sutra, if you connect to all the meanings already there, you will get the meaning of the sutra itself. So, let us see what the meanings are given here. Bandha is bondage or binding, being locked in, being limited. Karana is cause, reason. That's what we said. Shaitalya, because of becoming weak or very little weakened. Bandha karana shaitalya, because of the cause of bondage or limitation becoming weak. Prachara, transfer or broadcast. Samvedana, by sensations. Cha and prachara samvedana. Cha means and by ability for broadcasting or transferring sensations. Chittasya, of the chitta, parasharira, another's body, aveshaha is entered. So, all he says is because of the cause of being locked in the body becoming weak, and by the ability for transferring sensations of the chitta, another's body is entered. Meaning we can enter another body. But when we say we can, who is that we? Who is that we or I?
Chitta.
The chitta.
Chitta.
Yes. Whenever we say I or we, it is the chitta. It is not the physical body. Please understand. By now, that must be fully anchored in you. That meaning. So, he says, because of the cause of being locked in the body. So, when my chitta understands that physical body is there only for a purpose, that's all. And when my chitta becomes loosely connected with my physical body, this is what I keep on saying in the class, that the chitta must disconnect itself from the physical body. As long as that connection is strong, most of the things in life are going to be difficult. Most of the understanding of life is going to be difficult. When the chitta disconnects from the body, your detachment to materialistic things also will greatly improve. And that's what, that is the reason why when we start this meditation process, all this, sitting in the same place, because we are creatures of habit. By doing that, the initial part is taken care of. And over a period of time, all these bodily things, itching, pain here, pain there, all those things will go away. And within about 2-3 minutes of being in in the meditation, you will lose the identity with the body and you will be fully with the chitta. So when such a thing is there always with you, that is, the chitta is loosely connected with the body, then the ability to enter into somebody else's, some other body comes. Okay?
Doesn't it mean a rebirth?
Huh?
Doesn't it mean that the rebirth is possible?
Like rebirth. Exactly, yes.
But not physical rebirth, just in the mind.
I mean, at that time, we have already given up the physical body, right? So we are only a disembodied being, so it is easier because it doesn't have that connectivity with the physical body. When in the normal, right now, for me to give up my physical body and enter into somebody else's body, I can do that only when I have that very great awareness. I'm only a chitta and I'm able to disconnect myself with the physical body.
Oh, I know. When I was doing a course on Feng Shui, a teacher said he can get into somebody else's body. For example, he had a customer, a lady who wasn't well, and she asked him what she can do. But he didn't quite understood what's wrong with her, so he entered her body. He said it was like being on the roof and then jumping through the chimney into her body, and there he could see clearly what's wrong with her. But he says because of that, he got some illness from her body. So he did not recommend us to even try or go into that subject.
I mean, I didn't fully catch you because there was some disturbance in the audio, but I will give an example from Adi Shankara, one of the great saints of India. So, Adi Shankara, in those days, he used to travel from place to place, and he used to have a discussion on Advaita. He was taking this message of Advaita. We will see some sutras in the final chapter on Advaita. So those days, any discussion, they always had a wager. And those days, the wager was, it'll be, you have to give up your kingdom, things of that nature, your property, things like that used to be there, complete thing. And Adi Shankara had no kingdom. He was just a saint. Anyways, he used to travel, and whenever the wager would always be that if Adi Shankara wins, then the other whoever lost to him has to follow the Advaitic concepts, give up whatever he has been doing so far, and so that used to be the wager. And he had these kinds of discussions in many parts of India, and finally he got to a place where there was a person called Madana Mitra, I think, who was a very great scholar. So he also agreed to that, and the wager was the same thing, that he would give up his practice of whatever he was doing. He was a very great, I think, in terms of the religious aspects of Sanatana Dharma. Shastra. He was an expert in Shastra. So they agreed, and then they had this, started the discussion, and Madan Mishra's wife, Gayatri Devi, she was also highly qualified, highly evolved soul. So they wanted a judge. And look at the Adi Shankara's characteristic, his character. He says, I know Gayatri Devi is highly educated, highly knowledgeable, and he is requesting Gayatri Devi to be the judge, despite her husband is going to be on the other side. So that was the unbiased outlook that Gayatri Devi had. Anyway, the discussion goes on, and it's a very fiery discussion, fiery but very, very respectful, and goes on and on and on for a few weeks. And after about 2 or 3 weeks, finally, Madan Mishra loses. So at that time, Gayatri Devi says, okay, Adi Shankara, you have won Madan Mishra, my husband, but since I am married to him, we are one unit. So you have to defeat me also. So that's how, then he agrees. And then he starts debating with her. And now Madan Mishra was the judge. During the debate, Gayatri Devi is asking a question to Adi Shankara. And Adi Shankara has no answer because he's a saint, because she's asking a question on sex. Because this, she says, the highest enjoyment for a human being is when they have sex. And Adi Shankara has no idea because he's a saint. So he is stunned. He cannot answer. So he thinks for a moment and then he tells her, give me some time, give me about a few days, and then I will come back to you. She agrees, and then they disperse. And Adi Shankara goes to his with his disciples to the forest, and then because of his siddhis, the siddhis that he has, he comes to understand there is a king in the neighborhood, the neighboring village or whatever. That king in that area has passed away, just dead. So what he does is he tells his disciples, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to enter into the king's body. So my body is going to be here. So take good care of my body. Be very watchful. I will come back to my body after a few days. So he goes. He leaves the body and enters the king's body. And at that time, when he enters the king's body, is when I think the medicants have given up on the king, and they are telling the harem that the king, we cannot save the king anymore. And that's when Adi Shankara enters his body and the king comes back to life. So they were all shocked and very surprised and shocked, but very happy that the king has somehow survived. So this goes on for a few days, and then the queen, the chief queen, if you want to call, she was a very, very smart lady. She somehow figured out that this behavior of the king is slightly different. It's definitely different from what it was before he fell sick. So she has this doubt. There is something not right. And then, and Adi Shankara knows this is the only queen that can give him this information about what is the experience of the during sex. So he questions her in so many different ways and gathers the information, and then leaves the body and comes back to his body, and then the king is dead and all that. Anyways, he comes back with that information back to his body, and then goes and tells Gayatri Devi. Again, they reconvene, and then tells Gayatri Devi that this enlightenment, samadhi, state of samadhi, etc., and nirbija samadhi, whatever, and being in that state is no comparison. I mean, having the enjoyment that you get at the time of sex is no comparison to this. So he quotes so many things and tells her that. So that's how he, Gayatri Devi is won over. She also is defeated, and both husband and wife, they start following Advaita from that day onwards, and they propagate Advaita in their village, in their area. because they were one of those big landlords. So they had that uh, power and the clout propagate. So anyway, this is one example of how one would use this siddhi of going from one body to the other. Any questions?
I have a different perspective on this 3.39, sir. When you told that the body sensations will go away, I don't think so, because we will be very aware, and the like body sensations like pain and itching or something will go away, because we will be very sensitive, I think, very aware of our body. But maybe we may not react to that, I'm thinking. We may not react to the pain or itching sensation that we get in our body.
So if we are not going to react, then we are not going to feel it, right? So there is a very clear understanding that this body is going through something. It may even have pain, but it is not affecting the chitta. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Okay. This is what happened to many of these great souls. Like I keep coming back to Ramana Maharishi and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. They were so evolved that when the pain was there, they said, "Oh, it is my body that is having pain." Because the chitta was so disconnected from the body.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Sorry, Shruti, I didn't get your question fully. I assume that what it says, the sutra says, what I see it, the bondage becomes weak. Okay, a bondage to the body. When chitta's bondage is weakened, then it is free to move around to another body. That's what it says.
Got it.
Body, not chitta is not becoming weak, right?
Chitta is not becoming weak.
Yeah.
See, body is itching. It has got a itching sensation or it has got pain. Okay. But now what is the chitta doing? Because it is so fully locked in with the body. Whenever body is having some pain, the chitta thinks that it has to react to that.
Exactly.
So that is disconnected. Okay.
Got it, sir.
So we'll move on to the next sutra. Udana Jayat Jala Panka Kantaka Adishu Asanga Ukrantaihi cha. Udana Jayat Jala Panka Kantaka Adishu Asanga Utkarantaihi cha. So we'll see what this means. Udana Jayat. So Udana is another Vayu. So we have different Vayus, different flows, if you might, in our body. So that's why in the Hindu tradition, we normally, when we offer something to the divine, we say Pranaya Swaha, Apanaya Swaha, Vyanaya Swaha, Udanaya Swaha, Samanaya Swaha, Brahmanaya Swaha. And similarly, when we, especially Brahmins in the Hindu tradition, the Brahmins, before they eat, they take a few pieces of rice, and then they chant this mantra saying Pranaya Swaha. So what does it mean? It means I'm taking this piece of food as a sample. I'm taking this for the prana in my body, the pranic energy, the main sustaining force in the body. Apanaya Swaha, the various the water part of the apana is the flow that controls the various things in the body. Then Vyanaya Swaha, Udhanaya Swaha. Udana is the thing that connects us with the cosmos. Pranaya Swaha, Apanaya Swaha, Vyanaya Swaha, Udhanaya Swaha, Samanaya Swaha. Samanaya Swaha is the energy that flows in the Sushumna Nadi. That's what we call as the gene expression. That's the one which flows in the Sushumna Nadi. And on that Nadi is where we have all the chakras, from the Sahasrara all the way to the perineum. All the 7 chakras are located on that. The main 7 chakras are located on that. So that's why we say all these things while we chant. So prana is the vitality in the system. Is the vitality. Apana is communication that goes into the physical structure. Apana is the one that flows into all the muscles, in the physical structure, in the muscles. Then Vyana is the communication that goes into the circulatory system, all the various fluids. That is the Vyana. Samana, we said, is the basic management of the body, which is the gene expression that flows in the Sushumna Nadi. And prana flows in the backbone, in the spine. That's where it flows. That is the basic prana. That is a life-sustaining force. And that's where, from there, the other organs and things like that, they extract that energy. Udhana Vayu is the ability to connect to the cosmos. That is the Udhana Vayu. And it also is connected with immunity. So these are the various things, the Vayus, as we call them, the various forces that are there in the body. And this is why when we offer to the divine, we say pranaya swaha, apanaya swaha. That's how we offer. And the same thing, when we eat also, we all do the same thing. So, Udana Jayat, when Udana energy, the Udana energy is conquered. Let's see the word by word meaning here. Udana is a type of energy flow. Jayat is by conquering or by getting mastery over that. Jala is water. Panka is swamp. Kantaka is thorns. Adishu, Adi is etc. and such other obstacles. Jala Panka Kantaka Adishu means in place of water, swamp, thorns, etc. Asanga means, Sangha means coming together. That's why we say Sangaha, midweeks, the satsang. Okay. Sangha means coming together. Asanga means moving away without contact. Utkrantahi, one can move above. So he says because of conquering or controlling the Udhana energy, in place of water, swamp, thorns, etc., one can move above them without contact. So this is a striking sutra, and this we know in the Bible there is a reference to Jesus Christ walking on water. So it's actually he's walking over water, not on water. He's walking over water. That's what we understand from the sutra. And then he would be on a boat with all his disciples, and then he would suddenly get down and he'll walk. And after he reaches some distance, one of the disciples would say, "Oh, Jesus, I also want to walk with you. He says, come on. Come on. You can also walk. Come on. So, but when the disciple puts his foot in the water, it will go down. Meaning that the siddhi comes from that kind of high connectivity. So obviously the disciple didn't have that connectivity, nor did he have that faith at that moment to accept Jesus' call. And if he had faith, he would have probably also walked over the water. And this kind of thing, even in, we have all this in our scriptures too. I don't want to go too deep into that. Any questions here? These are all siddhis, that's all. Okay. Let's move on. So now the next energy that he's talking about, Samana Jaya Prajvalanam. We just said Samana is the one that energy that flows in our Sushumna Nadi, right? And it is the one that manages the gene expression. So gene expression means, so this is the one which constantly has to, it has to constantly happen. The gene expression has to constantly happen as long as we are living. If it stops, then we are dead. So by conquering Samana energy, one shines, meaning there is a complete balance of the internal and the external world. It's so complete balance, and one shines. There is what should I say? There is a tejas. That's what it is called. The tejas. The tejas starts coming. And that Samana energy, it comes out of the eyes. That's why we say, look at the eyes of these great souls. When you see them, you will see that sparkle in their eyes. Something will be different. So that's what it's.
Could that be what the film stars have?
Huh?
Could that be what film stars have? Film star.
Yeah, the film stars, that's a different kind of sparkle. This will be a very, very compassionate sparkle that you won't find in the film stars' eyes.
Or personality shines in film stars.
Yeah. So people who have seen some of these very evolved souls, I had this experience with this who is no more, Chandrasekhara Saraswati. We used to call him as Periyava. You could see that. You could see that. A similar thing I experienced with my prior guru way back in 94. The first time I met him, there was something completely different in his eyes. And slowly after that, it kind of dimmed for whatever reasons. But the first time when I met him, that's when I knew there was something different about this man. Anyway, so the comment here says Udana energy lifts Udana energy is the one that connects us with cosmos, lifts the shoulders and upper chest, according to Vyasa. And that may be the reason, because it is lifting up, is the reason why we are able to walk on water and swamp and thorns and all that. According to Vyasa, prana stimulates the heart, samana is the energy coming out of the eyes. Apana stimulates the flow of liquids that we saw from top of the head to the bottom of the feet. Udana is the direction of the energy above the head. Vyana spreads in all parts of the body. That is a muscular thing. It spreads everywhere. The apana stimulates flow of fluids. Apana in Sanskrit means water. Apa. It comes from there.
I've seen something like that years ago when I went to beginner's lesson on meditating. And the teacher was a lady, And she, in the middle of it, she started to shine as if she was hollow inside, and inside was some sort of fire, some very strong lamp that I could see through her body. She had her own organs, but that was like a miracle.
Yes,
I
that is the
didn't question,
Prajwalanam.
I didn't question her because I thought, okay, she's a very special being, and if I ask some silly question,
Mm.
I will be down. But I remember the experience. It was something out of this world. And I look after the lesson, I went to where she was sitting. There was no light behind her. I thought it looks like a trick, but it wasn't.
Mm.
So she was an old meditator which knew lots of things we don't.
Mm. Nice. That is the Prajwalanam. Yes. So let's move on. Next sutra. Shrotra Akashayoho Sambandha Samyamat Divyam Shrotram. Shrotra Akashayoho Sambandha Samyamat Divyam Shrotram. Shrotram. Shrotra. Shrotra means it comes from Shravana, from hearing. Here. That is why in many of the Hindus, especially in Brahmin families, some of the Brahmin families, they will say for prayer, they will say, go and say Shostram. Because it comes from this word, Shrotra, from hearing. Because the Shrotrams, originally, they all came through hearing because the Vedas were written by Shravana. Because they heard the divine's word in their ears. That's how the Vedas are written, right? So from that, they made, later on they wrote shrotrams, they wrote slokas. So that's why we say shortram at home. Go and say shortram, we'll say. But we won't say correctly, we'll say, go and say shostram. Incorrectly, we'll say that, pronounce it. Because it is a tongue twister. Shrotra. Shrotram. Shrotra akashayoho sambandha samyama divyam shrotram. So, Shrotra is the hearing. Akashayoho is space or sky. Sambandha is relationship. Bandha, sambandha. Bandha is bondage. Sambandha is bonding together. Relationship between or connection with people, or it could be objects, whatever is that it means. Shrota akashayoho sambandha samyamat. By samyama, on the relationship or connection between hearing and space, divyam, divine, full of light of the devas. Shrotam is hearing. Divyam Shrotam is divine hearing. So, by samyama on the relationship between hearing and akash and space, comes spiritual divine hearing, enlightened hearing. And you begin to hear things which normally you don't hear. That's how this we can connect with those great Maharishis who heard the Vedas and wrote them down and then passed it on. That's how it was passed on. It was never written down in those days. It was all passed on by word of mouth. Any questions? Okay. Maybe one more and we'll stop here. Kaya akashayoho sambandha samyamat lagutula samapattehe cha akasha gamanam. Kaya akashayoho sambandha samyamat lagutula samapattehe cha akasha gamanam. Kaya we know. We have seen this. Kaya means body, right? Akashayoho, we have already seen. Air or space or sky. Sambandha is relationship. And samyama. So, if you put all the four together, let's see what it says. By samyama on the relationship or connection between physical body and space. That's what it is. Kaya akasha yoho sambandha samyama. By doing a samyama on the relationship or connection between physical body and space. Lagu. Lagu means light. We know this. It's there in all Indian languages. Lagu. Tula. Tula is cotton fiber or just plain cotton. Samapattehe. Equivalent. Becoming one with. More like becoming one with. Samapatti. That is why we say state of samapatti. When you become one with what you're focusing on. We saw all that, right? Satkara samapattihi. Yes. Nirvitarka samapattihi. We saw all that. So, Lagu Tula samapattihi, becoming one with the lightness of cotton, chais and or also Akasha Gamanam. Akasha is sky. Gamanam is move about. So moves in the sky, moves through space. So by samyama on the relationship between body and spaces and becoming one with the lightness of cotton, one has the ability to travel through space. That is, our body becomes so light like that of cotton by doing this kind of samyama that we can travel through space. We can travel without any plane. We don't need a plane to travel. We will just go from place to place just by doing the samyama. Not leaving the physical body behind, but the physical body also will travel. It will become so light. And this is how centuries back Indian spiritual beings, they traveled with this kind of samyama. One more.
There is a book about it. This was witnessed in Tibet years ago. There was a man called a monk Naropa, and he was seen to travel through air all the time. But there was no more sighting, just that one was put into the book, so it survived. There was nobody seen since.
Actually,
in India,
few years back, there were some couple of videos about some person in India doing this flying business. Then it came to light those were all AI generated. So modern day videos, you have to be careful unless you see it in person. But it is known, it's a known siddhi that people can do this, have done it, and that's why it is documented here as well.
I'll sign in if there is a course on that.
Yeah. It will put all airlines out of business if everyone can do it. Your pilot husband would have been without a job, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The last sutra, 44. I will stop with that. Bahihi akalpita vittihi mahavedaha vedaha tatah prakasha avarna shayah. Bahihi akalpita vrittihi mahavedaha vedaha tatah prakasha avarna kshayah. So kshayah we know, it means wearing away. The last word. Avarna is the covering. Prakasha is shining. So most of these words we know. Bahihi is external. So we will see. By he external, akalpita is unimaginable, unidentified. Vrittihi we know, expressions or thoughts or visualizations that is created by the chitta. Chitta vrittihi means that if it is just vrittihi, it could be from any expression. It doesn't have to be only from the chitta. Maha, great or huge. Videha, videha, actually. That which is without a body. We've seen sutras on this in chapter 1. I don't know how many of you recall. On videha, visesha deha. That is why it is videha, both put together. We said bhava pratyayo videha prakriti layanam in chapter 1. Somewhere Sutra 17, 18, or I think 19, maybe. Yes, 19, Sutra 19. Bhava pratyayo videha prakriti laya. Videha, we said, use that word. That which is without a body. Tataha by, from that. Prakasha, shine or light. Avarna, covering. Kshaya wears away. So visualization of unimaginable expansion outside into a great disembodied being, the veil or covering light wears away. So, I mean, these are various things that the siddhis with which one can become very, very big. You can show as if you are a very, very huge person. So those kinds of, that's the siddhi that he's talking of. So I'm going to stop here in Sutra 44. So we'll start with Sutra 45 next week. Any questions before we go on to some discussion? Let me see if I have any notes of.
You have an example of 344?
Huh?
I said, do you have an example of Sutra 344? You have some great examples.
I don't.
Hanuman. Kumarji.
Hanuman.
Yes.
Hanumanji.
Yes.
Hanuman.
Yes.
He had Ashtasiddhis.
Yes.
Gyaneshwar Maharaj. He also had the Siddhis.
Actually, in Sutra 46, we will cover Hanuman.
Yeah,
So
I
this is,
mean,
yeah, Anima, Mahima, Ganima, so many siddhis he had. He had 8 siddhis.
Yes.
This, yes.
I think
Even
this is different,
Gyaneshwar
sir.
Maharaj had.
Who?
Gyaneshwar Maharaj?
Okay.
Sir, I'm thinking this one is different. Like, I am imagining that we have light inside. So if we expand our awareness outside more and more and more, our awareness expands that much. So I'm thinking maybe they are trying to say that in here, the covering of light inside wears away. Maybe we might dissolve into the space or something in a form of light.
No, we won't dissolve. We won't dissolve. The thing is, the light that is inside, that is what we're calling as pratibha and all that. This is the Purusha that is inside. Various aspects of that Purusha. So he says the light is becoming bigger and bigger, which makes us very big. Not that others have to look at us and say we are big. It makes
not visually.
Visually also it is possible.
That's possible. But here in this sutra, they are not talking about visually.
Here in this sutra, what they are telling, Kumarji, is it visually we are seeing the light? Like.
So So that's why it says unimaginable expansion into a great disembodied being, right? See, when you have some kind of mystical experiences, it could be that it is not a physical body that is looking big. It is just a vision. It is just a vision, which means the light inside makes that person look so big. Many mystical experiences are like that. Let me see. I have some notes. It says, our inner light is the pure spiritual being. The covering is all the programs we come with. The covering is all the programs we come with, right? All the programs are the sanskaras. Patanjali Muni has already mentioned that even before full purity is attained, siddhis will occur. That is, even before all the programs are gone, special abilities happen. That's what he says. What is the nature of the outside unimaginable activities? All the unwanted things will fall off and the inner light will emerge. Refer to 2.1 Sutra, where we are only an instrument in the cosmic flow. It doesn't give any example as such. But having said that, this is when we say the inner light, it really means all this covering falling off, and the inner light emerges into a very big thing. That's what the sutra says. It doesn't say anything about the physical being, physically anyone becoming big. So, but in essence, when the light becomes big, it has such ability that it can make a person look very big physically also. That's what I'm trying to explain.
One of the possibilities, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
You will see. So, a couple of sutras down, we are going to see all this. 8 siddhis we are also going to see. Okay. We'll stop here. Any questions? So we had a very interesting, it was not a poll really, but I asked all of you to write about
Marries and for
why,
marriage.
about marriage. Some of them did not write, though. Why? I asked people to do this as an exercise so that we have a good sample. That's why I asked everyone to write, not to find fault. So with whatever I have received, I can only summarize, and most of the ladies published it. Most of the ladies published it in the group. The men were very secretive, sent it to me privately. A couple of ladies also were secretive, sent it to me privately. That's okay. That's fine.
Kumar, I thought this was for satsang, and I didn't think of like this being a satsang. So then I thought I missed it because another time I responded and you said we're way past that already.
Oh.
So I wasn't sure where my place was in that. But yeah, okay. Mine is similar to Tatiana. I got pregnant.
Okay.
And, yeah.
All right. So that was the necessity to get married. Okay, great. So by and large, based on
But usually in India, sir, it is mandatory. When the girl grows, it is inevitable that she grows with the mind that she has to get married. The parents will get her married.
that's what I'm saying. Most of the Indian women who have published it, and a few who sent it to me privately also, there is nothing like their wish. By and large, it is, oh, my friends were getting married. My parents told me how to get married. I'm just a piece of furniture. Whatever somebody tells, I will do. I'm sorry, I'm using that word. So this is the reason we find it very difficult to evolve. All through life, we have no goal. We don't know why we are doing anything. It is all survival oriented, completely survival oriented. I have to get married because my parents told me to get married. My parents told me to get married because they want to do away with their responsibility. They have to hand me over to somebody else so that I am taken care of. Or in old age, I have to be taken care of by somebody. Look at there is nothing about why I am here. What is that I'm going to do in life? I mean, it is only marginally the men's thing is better, only marginally. They have not said because my parents told me I got married. That's the only thing they have not said. Other than that, okay, I want a partner to travel. Even the one that I published also is the same thing. Nothing big, nothing different.
Kumari, I think that is the reason like most of us had a regret point at the end of the message. Because the reason because the reason we married not for us. It is a process in India. Like everybody, after completing college, getting a job and marrying is a process. It's one of the process, and immediately after the marriage, children. So this is the process. So after, like when I read all the messages, everybody at the end of their messages, the last point is like that they have shown their regrets.
Oh, okay. They've shown the regret.
Like one point at the end. So it's not like we are not feeling proud of it. We have to change it. But we cannot change. But I'm telling, like at least the present generations are very, very sharp, and they are knowing the reasons for their marriage, good or bad. They have their reasons to get married.
Yeah,
The
present
Gayatri.
generation.
Yes,
the present generation. See the reasons. If you look at the present generation's reasons, they're all absolutely materialistic reasons. There is
but
no
at least I'm
reason.
telling they have a reason for themselves, not for others' purpose, right? Whatever reason, good reason or
Correct.
bad reason.
I'm not saying good or bad. I'm saying they're all materialistic reasons. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I have heard like a young generations telling, if a guy has a GC or citizen, then they will marry. And they want a guy to be in a particular company so that they can marry. So I have heard of all these stories. But
Correct.
I'm thinking at the end, they have chosen their life and they'll be happy.
And the guy will say, I will only take a woman who will bring 100 sovereigns of gold and brings 100 acres of land. That is also
No
there.
one is giving such people, such man, sir. No one is giving their daughter to such a person who is asking for dowry nowadays.
Who told you that? I am dealing with cases like that. And they are all from this bloody Telugu area.
No, they ask dowry in a decent way. Like they will not
Sir,
directly come and
sir.
give us dowry.
There is no decent way of asking dowry.
Sir, I have to say one thing.
Yes.
You mentioned Telugu. When it comes to my elder son wedding, I didn't take even a penny. Even
Yeah, that's what.
expenses, I put half and half. They asked me, what do you want? I don't want to brag about it. They asked me, what do you want? I said, I don't need anything. On top of it, I myself
Yes.
told, without consulting my husband, expenses half and half we will put it. We planned wedding in India, Tirupati, but because of COVID, flights and everything cancelled. And here, exactly half the amount. I can send you the transactions.
These are
Everything I paid half
exceptional,
percent.
Madam. These are exceptional.
I
When
Did I say
start
that
said
all
Telugu,
did I say that all Telugu people are like that?
no,
I didn't say.
Most of them.
Sir,
I am Telugu.
most
I
of
have
dowry
them
to
are
talk
like
for
that.
myself, sir.
I didn't say
I
all
am
No, I
Telugu
Telugu.
think
people.
he's meaning like there is so much of
Exception.
expensive things given in those weddings.
The amount of money that is transacted is so, because these are the cases that come to me on a regular basis.
sir,
On a
sir, can
regular
I say
basis.
something?
Let me finish. Let me finish this.
Yeah.
I have nothing against Telugu people or Tamil people or Hindi people or nothing. I'm just saying based on the cases that I get. And this is what I see. Amount of money that has been transacted is so.
But being a Telugu person, I have to tell here my situation practical.
And I'm saying there is the same things happen in the Tamil family also. Not that it is not happening.
Yeah, there is one group, Kumarji, like they don't give the girl or guy, like they don't get married if you don't have any land. There is one group in Tamil Nadu, like they
There is
without
one
land you
group
cannot
in
get married.
there is one group in Tamil Nadu, especially in the southern part. They will marry only within the family. So even as the child is born, they decide that he is going to marry X. And that fellow can only marry X, and that girl can only marry this Y. And I know, and there is a friend in one of our classmates is like that, of such a marriage. My classmate. And he has forced it on his children also. And they live here in USA. I don't want to go anything more deeper than that. How terrible is that? The parents decide at the time of birth, this is the child that you have to, all because of money. That money has to stay within the family. It cannot go outside. This is Tamil people. And there are different belts in Tamil Nadu where this kind of, it is a complete transaction, that's all, nothing else. It's a financial transaction to keep the wealth within the family. Sister's daughter, this daughter, that daughter, they will only get married to these kinds of cousins. Anyways, this is something that all of us must think. We don't know why we are getting married, because as part of the Hindu tradition, the Saptapati that we do, the 7 steps that we do, the 7 steps that we go around the Agni, it tells us why we are getting married. And generally it is chanted in Sanskritam. So the man will chant, and probably the woman also has to chant. I don't know exactly how it goes. We chant it with no understanding. And the priest also will not tell us what we are chanting. And we also will not ask, because everything is a sloka. Everything is something that if we do, it will give us punya, right? That is how it is done. So we have to wake up, understand the concept of marriage before you get married. Anyway, it's too late for many here. Yogeshwaran, is he here? I think he was here some time back.
Kumarji, I have a comment.
Oh.
So
Let me finish. Hold
okay.
on. Let me finish.
Fine. You let me speak after you finish.
Yeah. So with no understanding of marriage, and the expectations are, all the things are only external expectations. All external expectations. My spouse has to do this. My spouse has to be like this. My spouse, his in-law should do like this. So these are and he has to grow in such a way. He should have a car, he should have a house, he should have this, he should have that. And together we have to do this, that is also there as part of that. But there is no spiritual foundation in our wedding. It's not that it is not there. It's there as part of our culture, but we don't pay any attention to it. Because our parents did not pay any attention. Our forefathers, grandparents didn't pay any attention. I mean, whatever little bit they paid also, we don't pay. And over the years, it has just fallen off. It's become worse and worse and worse and worse. And that's why the marriages are generally such big problem areas. And now it has come to a state where the girls don't want to get married unless everything can be promised upfront. Anyway, yes,
Sir,
go ahead, Usha. Go ahead, Usha.
No. Rajesh, you wanted to say something? Nothing.
after you.
Okay.
After you.
Okay. So I wanted to, this is my comment, that there is a cultural aspect to this marrying, and then there is the autonomy in the choice of my partner. Okay. So traditionally, that is my generation had some autonomy, but certainly earlier my mother and all,
None.
their parents decided, or even in my generation, parents decided who will be your daughter or son will get married to. So this is, I think, it's just over a period of time. Like we gave a lot of autonomy to our children to decide whom they will get married to. So that is, I think, it's a matter of the times we live in. So we should separate out the autonomy of choosing a partner to the act of marriage. So marriage is something, as a cultural institution, our society believes in it. I mean, we still believe in it, but that is getting diluted. I can see that. Say
Yes.
my generation, my friends, to my children, to the next generation that is younger than my kids, like the kids in their 20s, they are questioning the institution of marriage, though majority will still go ahead and somewhere tie the knot, but they also live together. And then when you do, I mean, you can do so many things together, then why go through this quote unquote marriage? What is the significance of marriage? Because they have kids, and then they also are able to bequeath through legal means, that declare that is legally my child and things like that. So then you question what is the need for marriage. At least that questioning has started, I think, with the younger generation of the 20s and things like that. But even when they're living together, they are still forming a union, and that is, we call it marriage, and they are saying living together, but there is still this need for marriage, because that is, I think, something embedded in our human beings DNA, or whatever you want to call it. You want a partner, you want someone to live your life with. That's my comment.
Okay. See, there is no harm. There is no harm in wanting a partner or living or marrying. There is no harm. But most of it, from what I see, is all survival oriented. That is what I'm pointing it out. That's what I'm pointing at. It's all
Okay.
survival oriented. For the human species to progress, there has to be progeny, right? So that means man and woman have to come together. Let's forget about other kinds of relationships. Man and woman have to come together for the sustenance. Even if only 80% of them come together, it's still there's going to be progeny. There's going to be children out of that wedlock, child or children or whatever. So that is by design of Ishvara. That's the design of Ishvara. That this kind of coming together should happen.
What sort?
Huh?
Sir, when we grew, I mean, like, we had that, we had a great impact of that Sati Savitri, Sita Mata, Ansuya, and all. Like, the girl should be getting married soon after she gets that that periods, so that she will not waver in her, character. She should be with only one man. That was the thing. मतलब सती सावित्री वगैरह, I don't know how to, I mean, मेरा इंग्लिश उतना मैं बोल नहीं पा रही हूँ, बट वही था सर, हमारा तो इम्पैक्ट वही था, सती सावित्री जैसे पवित्र रहो, सती सावित्री रहो, मरने दम तक पति के साथ ही रहो, कुछ भी हो, that was there. But nowadays what is happening is kids are getting, before marriage, they are like, they are getting everything.
Rajeshri, I'm going to stop you right there. All this Savitri, Sita Mata, all that is fine. But tell
At
me,
least I hope,
even in our
Pati
generation,
Parameshwar.
even in our generation, if I am banned to the forest for 14 years, do you think my wife will come with me? No. Come on, be realistic.
No,
Panchali was also, Pativrata, just so you know. Panchali.
Huh?
Panchali was also a Pativrata.
Yeah. So what
I
I'm
don't
saying
know.
is,
Actually,
we take all
I
this.
wrote a history of my husband's this thing, but then it was so different from what I thought. I got married, and from the day one, I was with my in-laws. My husband used to sleep where his mother asked him to sleep. And he was always in remote places. I was always in the house 24/7, a servant. Whereas my father thought I'll get servants because I was a very pampered child. I would get servants, ऐसे समझे थे, पर मेरा उल्टा ही हो गया. मैं जाके वहां पे सर्वेंट बन गई. And my husband was 14 years.
Sorry,
So Sita was at least with, yeah.
Sorry, pardon me. I'm loud.
I'm sorry, sir.
See the avidya is so high. Avidya is so high.
Tatiana
I
and
don't want to say anything about your in-laws and your husband. What I am saying is,
no, I'm saying, sir,
no. I understand.
there are shocking stories,
Just
sir.
listen to me.
There are shocking stories.
Just listen to me. Before you even get married, you must know a person is from is an IFS. So he's going to be an officer managing forests
Yes.
or wildlife or whatever. But don't you think it is important on your, when I say your part, I'm meaning you and your parents' part, to find out how many days in a month he will stay in the house? Don't you think it is important to find out? Think about it.
My dad thought he will take me wherever he is transferred or
That is
wherever he lives.
assumption, right? Assumption.
Yeah.
That is assumption. Assumption, that's what they'll say. Assumption is making ass of you and me. Right? So that's an assumption. And then you blame everybody else in this world. And the blame has been fully put on your in-laws, your husband on this. Why didn't you do that research?
Yeah. On my mother also. My father was very, daring. But my mom, वो क्या बोलती थी? शादी हुई तो बस अर्थी निकलना ससुराल से. Arthi, only your dead body should come out of the house.
No, Rajeshri, I understand. I'm saying one basic, very basic thing is how many days this fellow is going to stay in the house in a year. If he's going to stay only for 5 days in a year or 10 days in a year, do you think anybody in the right frame of mind will get their daughter married to that person? How good?
No.
He may have all kinds of comforts in the house for you, let us say. for his wife, he may provide all kinds of comforts, but he's going to stay in the house only for 10 days in a year. Then you must be prepared for that kind of a life. If you're going to get yourself into a relationship with that person, then you must be prepared for that. When you don't make any kind of research, then how can you blame him? You cannot. Think reasonably.
Sir, now I'm ashamed to say also I have these problems because you would think, or all the audience, all my classmates would think, कितना पाप करी होगी कि ऐसी जिंदगी मिली.
I mean, I have a different perspective about marriages. It is definitely not about what you get in the relationship. How much can you put in to the relationship? What are you giving? How are you, contributing to the,
No,
this
we're only
relationship?
Ashwini, we are only talking about pre-marriage.
Yeah,
not
pre-marriage.
post-marriage.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
again, like,
that way, Rajeshri gave 300%.
Yeah, she worked as a servant. That's what she said. She
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
did more
She
than
gave 300% of herself. It's not that she did not.
Just imagine my mom saying you have to come out of the, only your dead body should come out of the house. Imagine.
Yeah, it's very worse.
Hi Rajashri, I just
They
wanted
sent
to.
you. Hold on 1 second. They sent you to a graveyard, and then what will you get back from the graveyard? Only a dead body can come, or some remains can come. Go ahead. Somebody who wanted to say.
Yes.
Sorry.
Rajashri, don't think
Aranya, go ahead.
about what others are thinking in this team. You just wanted to share whatever you want to share. So don't worry
Yeah,
about
I'm
it.
sharing because there are people here who have siddhis. Maybe sir has, Ashwini has, Ramnathan sir, he is very knowledgeable. Tatiana is there, Tammy is there. They are all there. I am speaking to God. I'm just opening up to God, not a person.
No, it is.
I'm talking.
This
I'm
session
putting
is
it
not
up
to
in
criticize
air.
anybody. It is only. I'm only saying that we get into a marriage without knowing, without understanding what marriage is all about, and all that we know is, oh, it is number one. Somebody will give me security. So far, my parents have given me security, food, shelter. That's what I mean by security. Now it is shifted to somebody else. They will provide me with all that, whoever that man is or his family is. There is nothing else. Okay, I will have children. There is nothing else. That's all I'm saying. Not only with respect to the ladies, I'm saying with respect to men also. There is nothing great about whatever we have thought about.
Oh,
Go ahead, Mohan. You wanted to say?
nothing else means
Yeah,
what is there for
I
marriage?
just wanted to point out, in your time, okay, the economic independence, career independence was not there. That I would say is a first reason. So because of that, confidence also goes off, and you are willing to listen to your parents or whoever it is. I know families of, let's say, today's family are a little earlier. I'm not saying you should have done it. They have a choice. Somebody had gone to Singapore and saying that's my career, so that the person could escape joint family. Or somebody would move to another city saying that's my career, I had to be working. You didn't have that opportunity. Those days it was not so much. Whereas today, so the entire thing I'm putting it to economic independence and education or a career, whatever you call it. Big job or small job. If you are able to go and get a job and then you say that's it, then you don't care. You can, I know many families where the wife had told the husband, you want to stay with me, get a transfer to my city. I'm not coming there. So it all depends on certain other external factors which would come into play depending on the time and culture.
Thank you, Mohan.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Even in those days, when I say those days, 50 years back, when we were trying to get a job, it wasn't easy getting a job because the opportunities were very limited. But definitely it was better than in the 60s. 70s was better, no doubt about that. But at the same time, most of the girls at that point of time, their thinking was never to build a career or go for a career for a few years. I mean, not even a career, I would say, at least to get an exposure at a business, get an exposure in a bank or whatever. Even that was not there. That you cannot develop, you cannot put that into a person, that it has to come into that person on its own, right? Or to an extent, yes, the parents can say, hey, you're just right, you have finished your job. Okay, it doesn't matter. Even if you're going to get only 500 rupees a month or 300 rupees a month or even 200 rupees a month, it's all right. I want you to get an exposure of the outside world. Go and work for 2-3 years, and then we'll think about marriage. I don't think parents said that. That is one thing. And secondly, I don't think women thought in those terms either.
Sir, can I say something?
Let me finish. Get one degree and then wait for marriage. I mean, the parents, in their part, they wanted to take care of they didn't want any of their girls without a partner because they have to hand over them to somebody else so that they will be taken care of for life. That is the kind of thinking which makes marriage itself with no goal. There is no goal. The only goal that we have seen from all this discussion is I got married and then I had children. I raised the children. That's not life. That alone is not life. We have to grow. As a person, we have to grow internally. Yes, Rajesh.
Can I say so? Yeah. The men also, sir, if the girl is not married in those days, the men also would not, respect. It was so difficult for a girl to live without marriage. Parents will be always, not me, any girl without marriage would be so difficult. Her life would be hell. Living in the society with men, there are men who are vultures.
Oh, hold on. There are two aspects to that. One is how you take what other people say. When it hurts, what other people say, oh, look at that girl, she is already 30 years old and she is not married, she is at home or working or whatever. If it hurts me, that means my kleshas are pretty high. My kleshas are very high. That is why it is hurting.
Sir, even for a widow, it used to be so difficult for a widow also to live in the society.
I am not denying that. I'm not denying that there was physical problems as well as psychological problems. I'm only talking about the psychological aspect of it. If you handle the psychological aspect, you can handle the physical aspect. Why do I feel weak? See, I'll give you an example. I have a client. This lady is in her mid-30s now. or maybe a few years more than that. When she came into contact with me because she was having problems at home, about 4 years by 2024 or 23, she came into contact with me. So over the finally she decided last year, just before divorce, or even before that, she decided that I am going to learn a martial art. I'm going to learn a martial art. And today, she is a green belt. And she can she can kick most of the men. If they threaten her physically, she can kick any of them out of her vicinity. And she is tiny.
Yes, you shared the video of her
I shared that. Okay. And now she has gone even one step further.
Wow.
Yes. I mean, she's continuously attending classes, getting trained. She has got a small child. Nobody told her that she has to learn this. She said, although by the time she made this decision, she was already she was living by herself. There was no threat to her from her husband or anything like that, from her ex, maybe at the time husband, who is an ex now in the last 1.5 years. There was no threat at that time, but she made a decision.
So you are saying the people are.
I will never want to face this in my life hereafter. It could come from anywhere. So she learned. She went to this. She's learning karate. So we have to be open. We cannot say, oh, because I'm a woman, I have to take all this. No, you can protect yourself. That is why all these things are there. Either you have to protect yourself through martial arts, or you have to protect yourself through spiritual evolution. When psychologically you can handle things, physically nobody will touch you. Physically nobody will touch you. You won't cringe the moment a man comes near you. You won't cringe. Nothing prevents anybody from learning martial arts or something which will. There are many things in India itself. Like in Kerala, they have different things. Marma, they will say. Marma. There are marma points in our body where if you press, there are some areas, even in the hand, in the elbow, there are certain nerve junctions. If you press, the person can be disabled momentarily, and you can run away. So these are all techniques that are available. They can be used for healing, and they can be used for numbing and causing pain to the other person. Then what is that? Kaleri or something like that. That is similar to kicking.
It's called Kalaripayittu.
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 Payittu.
With a stick.
The Kerala-based
They use
thing.
a stick. Yeah. It's a
martial art. So similar to in Tamil with Silambam, right? With that stick. So different, length of sticks and thickness of stick and all that. That is also there in karate with chain and things like that. So you have to learn something to protect yourself. Nothing prevents.
Opportunities should be there, Kumarji. The knowledge of, okay, let me do this. Can I do that? That thinking should come, number one. Number two, the opportunities should come. You are talking in general.
Priya, let me stop here.
Yes, fan off பண்ணேன்
Have you never seen movies?
Huh?
You see Tamil movies, right?
What? Yeah.
You see Tamil movies, and from the time I have started seeing Tamil movies, they always use all these things, the chains and things like
You
that.
were telling the generalized concept you are telling, but for the specific case of Rajeshri, you are not talking, right? That's what I'm understanding.
No, it is not specifically for Rajeshri. This is generally.
No.
No, he's telling generally we could have chosen many things. That's what
Many things. You go and see movies. Why don't you learn from the Tamil movie that I have to protect myself? This can happen to me. And it is not happening even in those days. Every week there will be some report of some girl being harassed. What action did we take?
Okay, sir. I just have one small question. Suppose 3 girls are there. First girl is married and next 2 girls are younger girls. First girl has a problem in the marriage life and she gives divorce, and there is a very tough time to see a girl for other 2 girls, because first
Yes.
girl is divorced and her character is not good, she's not good. That's what they say. They never say boy is not good, in-laws are not good. For that reason parents will say okay, adjust in in-laws place.
First of all, she has to get married, right? Then
No, first one get married, but you won't even get matches for the second one and third one.
Now, what I'm saying is, Madhuri, listen. Is marriage the solution for every damn thing in life?
As a girl, I won't think, but my parents think. Suppose
That
I
is what you
pass
have to
away.
tell the parents, that I don't want to get married. I want to study more and I want to build a career. I don't want to listen to this crap of people coming and tell me, oh, you have a long nose, you have a short nose, your hair is not thick, here it is not long enough. These are all the things people come and will tell you, right? When I say you, when people go
A girl.
to pick a girl, how terrible is that? How terrible is that? To go to a girl's house and then you tell the parents, or you tell the girl itself, oh, your nose is slightly turned this way, or you don't speak well. But then you shamelessly, all these people will go there, 10 people will go and eat in that place. Nicely will eat soji, bhaji, all that crap.
But Kumar,
And then
you're talking of a times.
shamelessly they will walk back. While eating, they don't have any conscience. Then they don't touch that food.
No, but you're talking of which times, Kumar? Not now.
Yes.
No, I am talking in general terms. Even when we
No,
are.
no, general terms is not now. That is not in the 21st century.
This is
Not even at the time of
we
I
can only
getting
talk
married.
about. See, I'm saying based on our life, I'm saying many things.
Yeah, but not in the recent past. Maybe in the 80s it was like that. Not even in the 80s, as far as I know.
It was there in the 80s, very much there. 70s definitely. That's why I told my parents. This was, I said in the class too. I told my parents that I want to see only one girl. I mean,
Ushaji.
as a life partner, I said I will see only one.
Yeah, tell me, Rajeshri.
I'll see only one
there was
girl.
a time. There was a time.
I'll see only one.
मतलब लड़की को देखने आते ना.
Let me finish. I said
Yes,
I will only one girl. And I will marry that girl. So when the time came, I sent my parents first. I said, you go see the girl. I mean, based on whatever you're showing me, the picture, everything looks okay to me, the educational qualification. You go and see. Because first of all, she is not only marrying me, she's marrying the bloody family, right? That's how it was those days. So you all must like her more than me. And then I will go. Then by the time I know, 90% is fine. Only the 10% is my choice. And I already made up my mind that whichever girl I see, that she will be my wife. So that's how my wedding happened. My parents went and saw, much to the dislike of my wife. Later on, she told me, I hated that your parents came to see me. Are they going to marry me? It is you who are going to marry me. But I said, see, this is the family dynamics those days. I wanted them to be comfortable with whoever is going to come into the house. Anyways, see, and then I married her. I never had this thought that I will see 10 girls and then I will pick one. Is it a commodity? Come on, people. It's not like
That social
going and
norms
buy.
have changed, Kumar.
It's
Those
changed
days,
now, Kumarji. In your
it has changed
time,
a lot. I don't think it's relevant to talk about those days now.
yeah.
It happened in 90s also, this thing. I know
No,
people go
yeah,
from
but it is
here.
getting better, right? I mean, like,
No, I'm
I
saying
mean,
people
maybe
go
for
from
us it
here.
was like that, but there are younger kids here, no? I mean, I don't think they're all
Now
going to
they do
face
it
that.
now they do it on Zoom. What's the
No,
big
but
deal? See,
they do it. The
when it
parents don't
becomes a
interfere
commodity,
so
I'm
much.
saying, how can you, what I'm saying is, Usha, how can you get on Zoom with 6 people, not at the same time, at different times, and then finally say, I like only this person? You must do that elimination before even going on the Zoom. That's all I'm saying. Zoom is only the final thing to say, yes, fine, yes, we will, there is a handshake. Only when you are sure about that, do the bloody Zoom. It is not like going to a vegetable shop, trying to pick vegetables.
So what are you trying to say, Kumarji? What is the message you are trying to say from here? To whom you are giving?
I'm giving the message for everyone. I'm not
No,
giving.
I don't understand because the example you gave, it's not currently matching because I don't think this happening now. I don't believe it's happening.
Forget about what is happening now. All I'm saying is there has to be a spiritual goal, and that is what was there in the Saptapadi. Please go and read that. I probably published it also.
We don't know at that period of time. I don't know anything about the spiritual thing. I don't anything.
That's what I'm saying.
The purpose of the marriage. Okay.
Yes, Priya, that's what I'm saying. That is why it is so dry. The marriage life is so dry with all kinds of problems. It's dry because we have come into this with no understanding, with no purpose. The
Because
only purpose was survival.
Yeah, nobody taught us. That's not in the education syllabus also.
Nobody is going to teach. This is something that we have to learn on our own. Nobody is going to teach.
That. I don't know.
Nobody is going to teach. This we have to learn on our own. Sorry. That Saptapadi, if we understand, because Saptapadi is something that everybody knows, that you have to go around and there is a mantra. If you read that, you will understand what the purpose of life. By and large, it will give you a picture of what is the purpose.
It is so beautiful, Kumarji, that Saptasati is so beautiful actually. No one follows. It is so beautiful. Like a man and a woman should work together, like, है ना, साथ में जीवन चलाना, ऐसे बहुत सुंदर है वो 7 सूत्रास भी जो हाँ पर
this is our culture. This is our culture.
हमने वही तो फॉलो किया कुमार जी, पर क्या मिला?
So the thing is, you have to ask the other party, have you studied the Saptapadi? Have you understood the Saptapadi? I mean, when I say you, I'm not saying you as a girl, but you as the parents. Parents have to ask. If the parents have not asked, you also, in addition to the parents asking, see, when I met my wife, I spoke to her for 1 hour. I spoke to her for 1 hour in their house. I didn't ask. They were courteous enough to leave the hall. They all went away. So I spoke for 1 hour. I spoke for 1 hour. I told her I drink. I told her that. I knew that my parents are not going to tell her that. I said, I don't drink every day, but whenever when there is a social gathering or friends or whatever, maybe once or twice a month, I'll have a couple of drinks. Things of that nature, I told her all that. Before I got married, I had a problem with one of my eyes, so I had a laser treatment. I told her that also. The only question my wife asked was, in that 1 hour, she asked, Kumar, why is that you don't smoke? That's the only question she asked me.
So
I said,
just
for some reason, I didn't find it a great interesting thing. For some reason, I didn't get induced into that. You want to say more? Something?
yeah. So before we close, I thought the two major points. I mean, all other examples, all that you can remove. Only 2 points are there. One is, before you get into anything, whether wedding, job, whatever, do your homework and figure out what is it.
Yes.
If you are not done, that's your problem, right? That's one question number one. Then you can ask question whatever it is. And the second one is, when you are doing anything, now when you are getting married or going for a job or whatever it is, there is always a constraint. Like what you think as a constraint then. For example, in our time, when for me and Kumar, they have to match the caste, sect, subsect, so many things. Today it's not there. You don't care. But that doesn't mean that constraint has gone. So you think that out of 20, now it is 19. No, it is still 20. Some other constraint will come.
Yes. Financial
Right?
constraints, all those things have come. Yes.
It's so many things. I can tell you, my friend's daughter got married when she was 37 now, 6 months back. He was telling me we had a tough time, Mohan, because we had to figure out somebody who will either be matching with her qualification because she is already a doctorate, or that person had to match to her salary. Otherwise, the harmony will not be there. So the constraints are always there. Or even in my own family, Usha's sister is 6.4 or 6.2 height, 6. So we had to figure out, when she got married, somebody who is at least in that range.
Yes.
And it was very difficult, getting a boy who is more than 6, not so easy. So what I'm trying to say is, constraints are always there. So you have to be smart enough to see how the constraint can be addressed. And second is, you have to figure out homework, do homework, and find out what is it in that you are getting into. Am I right, Kumar? That's what basically you are.
I mean, yeah, but there also has to be a purpose. That is, yeah, that purpose has to be, all I'm saying, that's what I was coming to with that Saptapati and all that. And Rajashri was saying how beautifully it is all there. But how come, if the other party doesn't know about it, that's where it went on. So these are all things that we have to work through. We have to work through that. Otherwise, life will have no meaning. See, I also did not know about Saptapati, nothing I knew. Fortunately, at the age of 40, something happened, the awakening came, and then slowly I started understanding. But I cannot make that. I cannot take that and make a huge change. I cannot go and remarry, correct? So, this is only.
Kumarji,
Yes.
everyone's, I mean, I am a, everyone has focus on me. Let me clear, please, one thing. Sarla was asking, right? You have to, the other person also, I mean, I have to put in the effort also. A wife also has to. Let me clear, ki, when I got engaged, after the engagement, my dad came to know about my in-laws, and then he said, no, Raj, nahi karenge, अच्छे लोग नहीं लग रहे. Me, like just because I did Ganapati Puja, and just because the Pandit did Ganapati Puja during that engagement, I said ki Ganapati Bappa dekh lenge and I'll take the challenge. That's what I said. I got married. That's what had happened.
Ganapati Bappa ditched you.
And after that, my dad still wanted me to, come out of it. But then my mom said, now you're married, no backing off.
Sri, that Ganapati Bappa is not outside, he is inside. He's inside.
Yeah, now I know, sir. I joined your class now.
Yes. See, that is what I was saying. People, this prayer to Ganapati Bappa for removing obstacles. That
Yes.
obstacle, what is that obstacle? If you look at Ganapati Bappa, he is putting his leg firmly on Mushika, right? On Mushika.
Yes.
That Mushika is nothing but the Chitta. The Chitta is constantly wandering, right? In the case of Ganapati Bappa, that is the Chitta. He has put a leg on that. So his Chitta is not moving around like ours. It is stable in one place. That is what we are trying to achieve, correct? There are no Chittavrittis, nothing is Nischalana. There is no Chalanam. Why is that important? When you do anything, when there is no movement of the Chitta, then there is full focus on that. When there is full focus on that, that activity will fructify. That is why we pray to Ganapati Bappa, to give that kind of focus, to bring that Nischalana. We have not understood any of these things. That Mushika is that Chitta, the movement of the Chitta. Just putting one idol and doing one prayer, how will things come on? We have to be logical, right? You have not understood anything. That's why we do all those external things. We do all these external things and think it will work. It is not going to work. It may work 1 in a million, and then that is only, a chance. By chance it worked. And it may have to do with the thinking of the person who did the puja rather than the actual puja that went on. So anyway, we had a long discussion on various things. So hopefully this brought some light into your lives. So on that note, let's wind up. We'll see you next Saturday and in between on Tuesday night or Wednesday. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Namaste.
sir.
Namaste.
Bye. Namaste.